isn't it, that? I think because I do like quite a fair amount of events and stuff and functions. It's like finding that space for making your own music and putting that out there. And I think I talked about this last time as well, like becoming a dad, I definitely went into like business mode for a long time. And found it hard to like, I think now I'm getting to the point where that stuff is kind of doing well, but I'm trying to do more artist stuff and more stuff that makes me artistically satisfied as well. Trying to get the balance between the two.
Yeah.
Which is tricky.
Yeah, I feel like that's the never-ending juggle of every musician, and then you pile parenthood on that, and it's like people have no idea because it's already really hard for them in the industry. And then when I'm working with people that aren't parents, and I'm coming with the next level of that, it's just like, how do I convey to you how difficult this is? But
do you feel like you've become better with your time though since you've been a parent?
I think I should have. I think I became a parent obviously off the back of a cancer journey and being told I wouldn't live or I wouldn't ever have children. So I was almost like becoming a parent, still massively catching up in my psyche of who I actually was and what was actually happening in my body and in my life. So I just went straight into almost a bit like denial, and it was the pandemic and we went to Africa with our baby, like we travelled around loads, and I almost like I often do learn in life through doing it all the wrong way and making a mess, and but there was a lot of beauty and excitement and kind of radical ways of living inside of that I really loved, but always then when we'd come back to the foundation, it'd be like, this doesn't work, it's not sustainable, this isn't something I can build on. So it's only recently, like my son's just nearly turning 7 soon, that it's really landing now, like real structure, time management, how much freedom that actually creates, rather than trying to just get bursts of inspiration and things and then come back and be like, this isn't sustainable, I'm falling apart. And then, so yeah, I think that's an ADHD quality though, 100%.
Which a lot of musicians are.
Yeah, a lot of us are.
Yeah, there's that quote, isn't it? Discipline is freedom. Like if you feel like you're disciplined and you feel like you're doing things regularly, actually that gives you a lot more freedom to do stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot more freedom for your time.
Yeah, and I'm only just learning that at 36. It's taken me a very, very long time to grasp what that really means. And I think when you live in survival mode for so long, whatever you've gone through, and for me, obviously, cancer and an array of different crazy things, you are almost locked out of that wisdom. It's like discipline's a luxury almost, because you're just dealing with what's the trauma and everything that's coming up in a moment. And to be disciplined, I think you have to really be ready to feel all of your suppressed stuff, because if you create safety and discipline, you can't run away from your demons anymore, because it's gonna, well, some people create it to escape, so that there is that, but for me, when I create safety and holding in my life and I take care of myself and I create regulation, I'm going to be getting in touch with everything I've buried and denied, and sometimes the pain of that is too great for our subconscious to risk. So that's where I am. I'm like putting in structures for the first time and being like, oh, okay, I can see, what hasn't been working, and it's ouch. It's really painful.
How do you put in structures then? Are you talking like day-to-day planning, or are you talking what are you talking about specifically?
Like living a life where I'm committed to a routine of some sort. Like I've just put in a weekly gathering at Coast Cafe.
Yeah, I saw that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It gives me accountability to be a human and have conversations and actually share my feelings and that be received, because a lot of my job is to be sort of an object observer, like it's quite detached from my humanity. So I realised these structures, like doing that once a week, putting on a monthly gig here in the community, working with Audioactive, hopefully, and doing some more work with them. It sounds like, for other people, it's like, routine and doing the same thing every week, that rhythm is normal. But for me, I've never had it. It will always have been in the past. A week in Ibiza, then I'm going to London, and then I'm having a week off to crash, and every week was completely different, and I didn't realise how much that was robbing my life force. So I think that the structures I'm putting in is daring to commit actually to where I am in life and to the people around me, and build healthy connections and friendships, and since I'm doing that, it's made me have to go to therapy and really like take care of my subconscious that's been making me escape a life of structure. Yeah, so it's been quite radical. I'm growing up.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you're building a community as well.
Yeah.
Which is when you look at all those kind of studies and things about people with longevity and people who are happy, that seems to be such like an important thing, family and community. I feel like Worthing, I was talking about this with Mike Palethorpe, and the guy who runs that.
He used to teach me. He was my teacher.
Did he?
Yeah.
And then also Nick, and we were just saying, I feel like down here in Worthing, as soon as I moved here, I felt there was more sense of community. Especially from where I lived in London. I felt that was, apart from our street, it didn't really feel like in London there was that sense. It felt like dog eat dog a lot of the places we went. Even when you were walking to like the tube, everyone's just like head down, work. Whereas here, because it's a slightly slower pace of life, and people are into just doing stuff not just for money, and doing things for that sense of community and happiness of everyone.
That's so true. And it's my hometown, and coming back, I had to leave my hometown because I felt very ostracised and quite isolated here as a teen with angst and going through things. But after all of the cancer journey and the healing, a lot of things I went through, I ended up coming back home, and I've found I haven't seen a community spirit, like energy like this place anywhere else. No. It seems to be a really big uprising of creatives and soulful people who care about connection, and like between Audioactive, Coast Cafe, which is an incredible musical family. That's and lots great. Happens, and Spun Records, like I've been blown away, and I think
I've been meaning to go down there and do the jam.
Yeah, you need to come. It's so
was
good.
Was it every second Friday or something?
Every second Friday.
Okay. Was it Sean, right?
Sean Quinn, who's a legend.
Sorry to interrupt what you're saying, but a couple
fine.
of people mentioned from London were like, get in touch with Sean.
Yes.
Just because of who he is. And
he's just a big ball of love and drums, rhythm, love and rhythm embodied in a man.
Drums and love.
Exactly. But yeah, I think from where I've been on that almost hero's journey that we all go on in our own ways of trying to find that feeling of connection everywhere, but on the ground, at home, in the earth where I'm from. It's been quite a big deal for me to come home and allow myself to really be part of these communities and bring what I've learned on my travels here and work with the youth here, and put on the monthly gigs where the kids are coming along at Coast and writing songs on the spot with us. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's amazing when you come back from all of these big heights and you realise there's literally no place like home. It's the best part where you go, oh, okay, now I know what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. It's funny that, isn't it? Because my home is Derby. And I although there are lots of positives about it, it never really felt like the feeling I get down here. This feels like something. I wonder if the sea's got something to do with it.
Yeah,
I think
so.
that definitely has, because there's a scientific study, isn't it, that people who live by the sea, they're even 20-30% less stressed because of something about that rhythm and something about that sound. And even just looking at the sea, for me, it makes me think like the world is so vast and so powerful and so strong. Like, don't worry too much about those little things that are annoying you in your head. Because look at that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so powerful.
Puts
it's
you in
like,
your place.
Yeah, you're almost just like a little ant. You're like, okay, that's like nothing.
Do you do those saunas on the beach?
Yeah, a lot.
Because that's where I get that feeling most, especially down at Sea Lane, Glow Sauna with Andy. You get in, and you're in the elements. You got the fire inside the sauna. I get out and get in the sea, and I'm like, in the wind, and literally just every element you're just put back in alignment with, like, it's all not that big a deal,
it's all fine. The feeling of that cold and the warmth there.
Yeah,
it's nothing like it.
I do the dry robe. I'm like, come on, upgrade in the experience.
You wear that in London, though. People are like, what are you wearing?
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's because no one really wears it.
Yeah.
So when they see it, they're like, why have you got that on? Not by the sea.
Yeah. Down here it's uniform.
Yeah, it definitely is. One of those dry robe people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those things. Oh, what's the Fraser's? Fraser came on the podcast as well. He's wicked.
Oh, I love Fraser.
Yeah, he's
what
such
a legend.
He always just like recommends people to come on as well.
Yeah, nice.
Which is one thing I might start doing more. I asked Nick actually.
Oh yeah, Nick.
And he just gave me a list of. Yeah, he's already been on, but he gave me a list of people, just like ideas of other people to come on, like 10 different people.
Nice.
So I might start asking people who have been on, just say, have you got any recommendations? Because when I started the podcast, it was definitely more people around different areas, and I was travelling to London quite a lot to do it. And then actually, I found a lot of Worthing people now. So I've had a lot of people from down here. It's probably like 50-50 of people from around and actually people from Worthing.
Yeah, there's a lot of good characters here.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Seans and the Mike Pelthorpes and the Frasers, the Sauna Pit. Is like there's just a lot of really good, rich, soulful people with amazing life stories. I think it is something about this seaside town that has attracted us all together here.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's nice when you realise you don't have to compartmentalize so much and travel so far afield actually, and you start to bring what you do to one place, and that gives a bit of coherence. Like even today you bringing me here, I'm like, I've been trying to start a podcast for like years. Maybe I should talk to them about using this space or doing it with the kids here or something,
Yeah. And also because I'm just starting out. When you're starting out, obviously it's like all the financial stuff is on you. So like it takes a bit of time to build.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing is like the equipment, but then after that you've got to rent spaces. And if stuff's really expensive, it's like you kind of almost lose the motivation to do it. So actually having a space that looks good, obviously nice people when you walk in.
And you feel like you're part of something. You coming to do your work in an environment where lots of creatives are operating. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's cool. And also for me, like I've got Rashana does nights, so often I can't really practice at home. Even if I'm in a shed, like it's loud, saxophone's loud.
Yeah.
So I have
Can
to
you
be
come
like,
here?
Yeah, I've started doing here upstairs.
That's a clever idea.
Which is really cool because it's like a full band room. So I can like, if I wanted to record some stuff in there, I can as well. If I want to do some videos, it looks good. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's nice for me to have those spaces. So I can just like actually blast and make some noise.
Oh, wicked. Oh, that's cool. Yes, like the band thing, something I'm getting back into as well because I've been almost singing glorified karaoke for a few years with this dance stuff, which is great. And I'm on big stages in Ibiza and club sets or whatever, singing all my hits.
Yeah.
But I just realised it had such an expiry in the way it's not fully in integrity with... I'm a musician and an artist through and through. So I started coming to Audioactive and did a couple of sets here, and I was watching the bands, and they're incredible, like Worthing talent, young people. And I suggested doing Worthing Festival this weekend.
Yeah, wicked.
And then Louis Levac, who's this amazing spoken word artist, rap, I guess, artist, who works here a lot, he said I could use his band. So we're rehearsing this Saturday, and I feel like I'm going back to my 20s. I was like, going to have a band practice and do this
cool.
band set in Worthing. I'm like really excited actually.
That's great. So you're doing
my stuff, but with a band setup, which would be a really interesting combination. We'll see.
Well, they're very strong melodies, so I'm sure they'll be.
Yeah,
they'll sound amazing.
And the musicians, Luke is phenomenal. So he runs the jam with Sean at Spun.
What's his name?
Luke. Oh, what's his surname? I can't actually remember. But
does he play bass?
He plays bass at the jam, but he plays everything.
Nice.
Bit of keys, I think. Bass. He can play drums. He's an MD.
Cool.
So he's just like one of those people that's got like crazy mad rhythm and maths in their head at all times. And he's like, can you send me the tracks and I'll transcribe and arrange them? And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I didn't think I'd manifest this in Worthing. So I'm excited to see what the boys do with it.
That'd be great. Well, you're playing on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I need to check the time, somewhere around 6 or 7 and on the Audioactive stage.
Great.
But yeah, I think they're going to be giving me a lease of life back because it has got a bit alienating doing this. Yeah, I think, I'm capitalizing on what I can do with these big hits that I wasn't credited for. It's been empowering to go and get booked myself to sing them and generate some money, but there's a tipping point when then you become a cosplay of this Abi Flynn dance singer that the industry has made me, that has probably not who I am. And then I've gone so far down that route for so long, I almost felt I got really lost and started to feel really like dark in myself and bad self-esteem. And I was like, what's this about? I'm not being an artist. I'm not being true to who I am and what I'm here to do in music. So I'm kind of like in a bit of a humble bit of the journey where I'm restocking right now and, doing local things, getting back in with the musos, going to the jams and getting that back again.
Yeah.
It's easy to just keep doing like well-paid club gigs. But it's,
Do you sometimes come off stage and not feel like it's true to you or satisfied?
There's always good things about it, but I'll come off stage, come home and just kind of be like, you're posting the same clips of singing the same songs and I'm just sitting there going, there's a well of wisdom and angst and art living in me. And I didn't come through cancer and near death and surviving all the things I've done in the industry, and to not channel that well and to make change with it. And the start of that change has been reclaiming my voice as the singer on those platinum songs, but that's just the start. And when that gets lost as I guess
it's frustrating as well, because there's a feeling of injustice towards that. So then you feel like I want to kind of get that and I wanted people to know who I am for this, when ultimately the feeling is that kind of injustice is like there and just kind of burning in you. But I guess then even if you're chasing that thing, you could get there, what they call it, that paradise complex, right? Where you arrive at something and you get there and you go, this wasn't actually what was needed for me. I don't actually feel like I'm home now. I kind of feel like I've got here and maybe there's other things that I've kind of put to the side. Those are the things. Because I think the thing with DJ sets is I've definitely had the same thing as you. I've gone through this thing of, because I guess also there's a financial thing with you going on stage with a DJ. That's literally just you and maybe two people. So there's a financial thing of for club promoters, for events, so for weddings, for everything. That's a better way financially, and it's also less people to deal with. So like, I definitely have gone through a period of doing lots of DJ sets with sax and DJ, and then now I'm kind of going down the other thing. And I think the thing is with DJ sets is nothing moves. There's no movement. The tracks are going to be the same every time. There's no like, this could do this and there's no like moving in the moment. You'll probably sing it like pretty much the way that you've done it every time. Whereas with a band, you could go to a new section, you could go to a new bit, a drummer could put a different groove on a certain part, and it can be like a completely different song. And I think that probably to people like me and you, that is way more interesting and way more engaging musically.
Yeah, and healing. I think we need it, that you're creating in the moment with the audience. It's like we're all this one, synergized unit, that you'd never hear it that way if that person wasn't in the room. Or it's just, and that's what you get at the jam nights. And that's what I've been doing down at Coast with the amazing King Wizard, the producer I've been working with.
I met him briefly, didn't I?
You did, and he's a musical genius. And we have the setup with the laptop, and then he's doing the live keys, and he'll loop, and we'll stop and we'll go, I think we need to write a song now. Kids, anyone in the room? And they'll say like, butterfly. And then we'll start writing a song about that. And someone else in the room calls out, and we just kind of create this really beautiful ecosystem of the birthing music on the spot. And then we might play one of my hits. But we can sort of, we've programmed it in a way now that he can loop on the stems and take it into different places and mash it up. And
cool.
So that's really helping me bring together those worlds, because you gotta kind of like go with the thing that people want to hear, but also how can you keep it fresh and soulful and in integrity to your art as well. Still figuring that out, but
it's good to have someone like him as well, I guess, who can do all those different things.
Yeah,
he's good at the technology and at
it's
playing
incredible.
piano.
He's in London, so don't get to see him as much. But we have a whole album of music that we're ready to release. But the reason I've had such a hard year is because when I first did this podcast, you came on the last day of our writing camp to the beach house, and we had this amazing body of music and all these visions of what we want to do. then you take it out of that beautiful, like almost womb space of where you've been gestating, creating, and you put it into the industry, and the industry is just like, no, it's not possible. You haven't got these numbers. You can't get a distribution deal. You need to do dance music to capitalize your fan base. And there's just all these like blocks, and it really gets you down. You're like, oh, I think what me and King have been finding is, how can we take this otherworldly channel of music and trust its own path that it wants to find, and how do we forge that inside of an industry that's saying this is how it is? And basically I've been like deconstructing that bit by bit, and I've started putting out stuff with TikTok on their label, on my own, to see what would it be like to take an independent route, using my fan base and my story on the socials to kind of grab the attention of my audience, and then see if I can take it back myself to put music out on my own terms and do what I want to do with the power of my audience, rather than just using the third party of the industry that's telling me, like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, which is like what all the greats have had to do at some point. Like Ray's come back with that album recently, and a few times you hear people in the industry just push to their limit of like suffocating their creativity, and they've had to find another way.
Yeah. I think nowadays as well, like, it's becoming more and more possible to do this kind of stuff. I think with the rise of podcasts, with the rise of people doing stuff on their own. I always think about American comedians. They've kind of gone down this route of, before there was lots of gatekeepers, were kind of within Hollywood and within all these different areas of getting into sitcoms, and now it just seems to be like that kind of stuff feels like it's died down, obviously, because not as many people watch TV. And now the rise of the internet, the rise of podcasts, these kind of people have become their own gatekeepers, and there seems to be less and less. And I wonder if we as musicians can kind of take some inspiration from those people and just kind of like build stuff ourselves for our own communities, and then we don't need all those people.
Yeah.
I think the way, you know, with the rise of also things like Patreon as well, and things where you can do stuff and people can just buy things from you directly, Bandcamp. I think there will be a bit of a change over the next 5 to 10 years where artists start taking back some more power for themselves.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, and it's
Especially
also like,
with AI.
yeah.
Long story.
And it's also like that is frustrating as musicians, making all that and then someone going, nah. I'm sure that happens in all industries, like within film. I know it definitely happens within the book world as well.
Yes.
Because my mum's a children's author, and she spends, you know, hours and hours and months writing things just for people to go like, I don't think that will work within, because there are people like, you know, David Williams, or people with these kind of like big followings who are writing certain things. It's a lot harder for people with a smaller reach to harness that kind of attention, which is frustrating.
Yeah, it seems to be that we have to really access that. There's like a well of creation where there's space for everybody to carve their voice and receive return from it. But yeah, in order to do that, you have to be so in touch with who you are, what makes you you, and not fit in and follow the formula. But it takes like years and years and years and years, decades of going around down these different routes and being in the industry to unpick some of those habits. Because time and time again, I find myself, compromising my integrity to fit into a formula that I think will do better strategically. For me personally, it just doesn't work. Anytime I've tried to do that, it's had a really negative impact on my career. And I don't think it's the same for everyone, but for me, when I take a bit of a radical step back and I work on my inner world actually and get at peace with who am I? What do I want to say? If I take off my masks and I really stand in who I want to be, something happens weirdly, like I'll get a call out the blue and life says yes to me weirdly, and it forges a new path. But again, recently I just found myself forgetting that and going really far down a path of what the industry wanted me to be, and I catch myself and I go, damn it, I've done it again. Like, no wonder I feel so annoyed and like depleted. But I think that's just the cycle of being an artist for years and decades of doing that until you refine like such a strong, unique expression that you're not going to bend on it. And that's usually weirdly when things work out. And yeah.
But also, like you said before, like we've got kids who've still got to, like, they've got to eat, we've got to eat. So there's got to be times when we go through these periods of making some cash.
Yes.
To kind of
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, to be able to kind of like fuel the other stuff and be able to, you know, for us to eat. And for them to be able to eat.
Yeah, I love that very grounding like reminder, because I do give myself a hard time for being, I don't know, like out of integrity of myself. But yeah, like I have to be able to support my family and my son and the industry. The journey I've had has meant I don't have any of my royalties, and it's a weird thing working shoulder to shoulder with the best people in the industry, and they've all got houses, mortgages, like they've all done things with their royalties and their income because they've been working the same way I have for years, but they've had the return, and I'm going still on universal credit and single parenting, and yeah, I think this disparity that's happened in my earlier career has given me it's like I'm always like trying to fight to get somewhere, and then I forget to give myself the grace of like, oh yeah, like you do have to take it in stages because you've had a really difficult beginning and you're still catching up and you've got to pay the rent. And yeah, it's easy to get lost in the delusion. Everyone in this dance music industry especially is trying to put out an image of success. And then I just have to be in touch with my reality, which is a lot of struggle actually. I feel like I have to be that voice in the industry. Sometimes it's one of my roles as an artist is to be that voice of going, yeah, I'm not okay actually, this is really hard, this needs to change. Because if we just keep telling the same story of like, yeah, just keep going and chasing the carrot and you'll get there, it's like, I don't know, something gets missed.
And I think that this is much longer form, so you can talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's not just like, oh, yeah, this is what I've rushed, I've got to show this. Whereas I feel like social media is so like glossy and so quick that you don't really get like a full snapshot of someone. It's like this is, you know, could potentially be 2 to 3 hours long.
Wow.
So it's like you really kind of get like into grips and you get into the weeds of stuff, don't you? This is why I like this much more than social media, because it's like you can actually get to know people.
It must be nice for you doing this regularly.
Yeah,
how much you learn about yourself as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest, recently it's been hard just because it's been like, you know, it's like when it comes to summer, it's just so busy that I'm like, right, I need to, because my goal was always to do one a week. But like during the summer months, that's way harder. Because if I'm away for a week or stuff's going on, also finding people who want to come on is also tricky.
Is it? I'm surprised about that.
A lot of musicians, a lot of people you ask are like, nah, I don't think I'll be very interesting. That's like the biggest response I get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'll be very good.
And it's actually about having a human conversation more than achievements or any of that status stuff. Yeah,
definitely.
Right?
I think people get nervous. Like, I guess for the first few minutes, you might feel like you're being filmed or you're being recorded. But then I think after that, I don't know, I don't really feel like, I don't think about it too much. Or it becomes more about the conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've started to become, like you were talking about earlier, about being a bit more kind of having a plan. I've definitely think I need to just like write down, okay, who have I potentially got for this week, and look ahead. Because what I do sometimes is I get to like a point and I'm like, oh, I've got someone for this week. So I need to like think ahead and think, right, I'm going to have this person, this person, this person.
Yeah.
I think that's a better way to do it.
Yeah. Do you find like in this path, you can be in survival mode a lot. Are you finding like that you're refining how much of your time you can be home and present in a way that regulates you better so that you can plan the things you want to do better?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And just saying, just like, I had to step out like 2 or 3 gigs, just being like, this is too much. And just, I've got to see my kids.
Yeah, because it's summer for you, you must...
Yeah, it's crazy.
The power of no.
Yeah, it's very,
a big one.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Also, just like, I say in the winter months, I'm there pretty much every day, but not being there for a week even is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like, and also I feel like I'm not as good at being a dad. So when I come back, I'm just a bit like, oh, I'm out of practice. Like certain things annoy me more, or me and the boys, like we don't have as much of a connection, even for a week. So I can't imagine like, you know, back in the day, dads that were like full time and came back really late. I can't imagine them slotting back into the family dynamic. That must have been so hard
Yeah.
for certain people. And then you feel like your kids don't really know you, and then actually getting back into the role or into the flow of being a dad or being a mum. I'm sure mum that happens to mums as well, must be very frustrating. I mean, I was only away for a week.
Yeah.
And like even then, constantly, I see my kids every single day normally.
Yeah.
But even then, I kind of felt a bit just like, almost like an alien dropping into my family's life.
Yeah, I really relate to that and the guilt that comes with it. And we've started a new rhythm now where I have Leo week on, week off, which has been really beautiful. Because when we were doing half a week each, I would find, like you said, you're two different modes. I'd go away and I'd be performing, and you have to wear certain personas, you just do, to safely navigate, especially the world of very commercial mainstream music. And then I'd sort of do that for a couple of days, come back, have Leo, and I've forgotten how to be a person and just drop down and be present with him and play with him, because my mind's like still in a performance in a way, or thinking what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? And that was really tricky. And then since we did the week on, week off thing, I'm finding this incredible amount of freedom in the weeks that I know I'm working when I'm away, or I'm in Ibiza for a week, or maybe I'm just in London on a bunch of sessions. And then I have him for a week solid. That's my focus. I'm dedicated to him. I need it. He brings me back to earth. We get in this synergy again, and we have our little Mama Leo things that we like to do. And it has more chance of actually taking root, and then I feel nourished to go and fly again and be who I need to be. And that's like I said, he's nearly 7. That's taken me a very long time to realize how much I need him to be that, to go and be that. I can't be that at the expense of motherhood or of him and his connection, because happy child, happy life, happy nervous system. And they really show us. They're a barometer for where our inner child is and our inner nervous system, and how healthy and well that ecosystem is. And so learning from him has been just one of the greatest teachings for me on this path. And I think we can really get into an addiction with hyper focus and work. If I can just get the next cut, the next gig, and we're thinking that's going to be good for my kids, and then we wake up one day and it's like, this isn't this. I'm not living. This isn't family. Where's this going? I could die tomorrow, and what's my relationship to my boy? So I feel you.
Yeah, because all they care about is the simple things, really, which is just you being there.
That's it. They're so forgiving. They're just, so adaptable until, they're not, if you push it too far and you don't pay attention. So,
that would be a big fear of mine, of not being there. And because I think my parents were pretty much 50-50 when I was a kid. And that was like, just something that I was used to. I say my mum was maybe there a little bit more, but I feel like it is becoming more of a thing, like the kind of like equal parenting between the two genders. It's definitely become more of a thing.
Yeah.
Like you do see more dads and stuff at drop-offs. I say even at drop-offs though, it still must be 80 to 90% women.
Yeah.
Like definitely more mums.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the same for your school?
I'd say so, yeah, definitely. And it's nice that we're very 50-50, and we always have been. But I was even talking to someone last night. It's just they do the same amount of work. They're mum and dad, and they do the same amount of work, but she feels just herself an obligation to be the one that does all the extra other stuff. It's just so deeply rooted in our ancestry, I think. And it's like men don't even really want it, is what I'm learning. Because I did a panel with Audioactive at the Great Escape, Women in Music, and this subject came up of that disparity, and that's still normalised overholding on women. And beautiful young men in the audience would, they were like, we're trapped by the patriarchy, and the way that we're still operating in this paradigm that doesn't create equality. And we want to make change. It's really difficult because it's so deeply embedded. How do we show that we're on board with this? And it's a really delicate thing, because it's instinctual sometimes as women, especially. I can only speak as a woman, but to overhold and feel the pressure to overhold when there's so many men who actually would gladly share the 50-50. It's just we don't almost have a map or a blueprint at this time of how to do that.
Yeah, it's true. Because what we often learn from our parents, right? And in our parents'
Yeah.
generation, often a high percentage of that would have been mum at home, dad
Yeah.
at work. I also think, I don't know, this is how I feel as well. I was thinking about this a lot when my kids were young. Like, I think, for me personally, I think between me and my wife, I had definitely more of a tendency to be more selfish. And I don't know if that was because I had to really work at being like a lot more giving than she did. And I wonder if that is because of the culture between men and women, or men wonder if they have more of a selfish mindset in their heads. But I definitely felt like I did. Like I had to like think about stuff a lot more than Roshana did in terms of being like more giving. And it was a bit of like a struggle to begin with, to be like, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be present, I'm going to be like a giving dad. It took me quite a few years to like just be cool with that I was doing stuff for kids and not for myself.
Yeah, I think my take on that is because of the patriarchy that's normalised so much, that being women's role, it's, you know, the men sometimes are missing the initiation that women have had to go through that oppression that has like forced us into submitting some of our ego into service of child or home. And I think as part of that, a massive part of that is because women bleed every month, and we have to kind of humble ourselves and descend into the rhythm of nature and the cycle. And then as well, if we have to carry the child and give birth, we have to go through these initiations that, of course, our egos are kicking and screaming, and there's other things we want to do, but we have to be so deeply humbled by not having our own body, or, you know, these things that happen to us, that we have to be in service to the rhythm of nature. And it's given us more of a natural, that initiation has given us a blueprint where we know how to navigate and humble ourselves and kind of come down and meet the task at hand. And I think men have been trapped in the patriarchy with, not only do they not have the same initiation in that way, but trapped as like we have to constantly provide. And there's a huge pressure on men that shouldn't be on men alone, to run things and lead things and not feel their feelings and not come down into the rhythm of their own nature and cycles. And, you know, I think that just creates just that difference with women know how a bit more to go, okay, this is what's needed, I'm going to have to like let go, I'm going to do it. Whereas men, I think they're like, they've got a lot of, this idea that they have to provide, and it's not personal, it's like something that's been sold to us, that's trapped us.
Yeah, and I guess it's not just through our parents, it's through like films, TV, like definitely like the culture of stuff that you see as well, and media and adverts, and that must have been years and years of conditioning on our brains of that. But yeah, I think being around Roshana and around like a strong lady, a strong woman, I think it kind of, and I was just talking about stuff as well, like talking back and forth, like about the way we're feeling. I think what you touched on as well is that ego is such like a thing, definitely male ego. I could speak for me as well, like that's something I'm trying to let go of, and within music as well, and not being, oh, this person got that and this person got that, and not trying to think about things in that way.
Oh God,
and trying to think like trying to be more egoless. That's a thing with like psilocybin and certain things like that, like hallucinogenics. They actually, I don't know, whenever I've taken them, I always felt like more into nature and more into the fact that we're all kind of like connected in this way, and we're all together. Like it doesn't really matter too much. Those little things don't really matter. Like the important thing really is the connection between all of us.
Plant teaching's good for that.
100%.
And even just nature itself. I just went on a retreat in Wales this weekend with women. It was just women being naked in nature, like cover themselves in mud, swimming in the rivers. It was like proper back to our roots and our earthing, and so many of the obsessive negative thought patterns and me and my issues that I went with were just like dissolved in love, and in the forest and around fires and with drums, and just being held in that village and being able to share and get it out when it's allowed, when your feelings, my experience, when your feelings are allowed to move, even if it is you're being a nightmare, and you got grief and you've got rage that you need to get out. If you have the safe space to just even go into that for 5-10 minutes, it can transmute so quickly into love and into like life coming back and joy coming back. But obviously, if we deny our grief, we deny our rage, we deny our bliss, we deny our connection. And I think that's when the ego really gets a chance to take over, because if you've not been able to process those emotions, the story gets to run riot. And my experience of when I'm on a bit of a bender with my ego, trying to prove myself and grasp at opportunities, it's usually because there's something I'm feeling underneath that's not been taken care of. And as soon as I come back to that, and I come back to nature, and I have women around me holding me, just all of my values change overnight. I'm not trying to like get more followers on social media or get a cut on a song. I'm like coming back home and going, oh, like, what do I need for my heart today? Like, oh, when's the last time me and Leo had a whole day out and took a day off school? Or through that path of restoring life force through, actually coming back into the body and feelings, quieting the ego down. Usually work things sort themselves out without me trying. Something good will happen because I'm back in the right relationship with creation itself, which is the whole energy that holds us. So that's what I've been learning to do better.
How else do you deal with, what's like a good way? Because I remember when I was doing therapy a lot, I want to get back into doing this, but I felt like writing it down and almost writing letters to people. That's what my therapist got me to do that. And often they were quite like quite angry and rageful. I was like, I'd never send this to the person because it's like very intense. But I found that for me, maybe it's because I got like a very visual memory. Actually, just seeing it written down felt like I was kind of just like putting the words onto the page, and it felt like I was taking them out of my system. Have you got any? What ways do you feel like, apart from getting into nature, what ways do you feel like it work well for you to address your emotions?
Definitely writing, journaling, streaming, lots of things. And sometimes I like working with little rituals. Like, I'm very witchy, so I'll write things and take them to the fire, or I'll take them to the ocean, and I'll be with the elements and hand it to a higher power than myself. And that feels very cleansing and humbling. And sometimes I'll have like roses or just something that anchors an intention, so that my human brain can understand, like, see, look, here's a thing, and I'm letting it go. And surrounding myself with women, like doing this weekly women's gathering, that holds me accountable to get my stuff out, have it loved and received, and then it's dispelled and other women share, and I'm humbled. I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. So talking about it to other people and writing songs, that really helps. Sometimes just shut up and sing, and I'm like, oh God, when I sing or I dance, I have to move my body every day. I'm such a better person for it. So just anything that will take me out of the story in my head, either by sharing it and having it reflected back, or coming out of the story altogether and moving my body, or going in the sea, or and I am someone that has to do that a lot because I'm a very traumatized person, and I become a fucking nightmare when I don't. I like become a really difficult person. So
it's good that you're aware of it, and it's good that you know those little ways to kind of, for me it's like exercise as well. Is a real big one. Like you said about movement, like dancing, because I guess if you think about it, gigs tick like all boxes of making you feel good.
They do.
You're interacting with people, you're performing music, you're moving, like you're dancing, often sometimes dancing for like hours. So I guess from that regard, they tick a lot of boxes of like dopamine and endorphin release. So like
true.
When January and February comes, I'm always just a bit like,
you're like, I need to train for a marathon or something.
I've got to do something to like channel this craziness in my head.
That's a really good point.
But like, finding little way, big, like I'd say like hard exercise is a big one as well. Just like,
you do HIIT training and stuff.
Less and less. I'd like to get back into it, but like just going to the gym and just lifting some weights, like I find that really helps.
Yeah.
Also makes me more chilled on gigs, but like in a good way. It kind of gives me like a better energy rather than being like kind of like hepped up. Do you know what I
Like
feel
it centers you more.
Yeah, because I think I've got a lot of, don't know, less now, but when before kids, like I had a lot of like fucking like almost testosterone energy. Whereas like sometimes I feel like I've got to just get that out and I'll feel a
Channel
lot
it
calmer.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like music's a really good one, like just writing an idea
Yeah.
or writing something down. You go into that different world, don't you? The flow state
Yeah.
of just like,
Yeah.
almost like you enter a different dimension.
Yeah, it's so true. And all of
Yeah.
us are so different. Like it's like a lifetime learning how our specific brain chemistry and emotions need to regulate, because one person's medicine is another person's poison, and it's just it's taken me a very long time to learn the complexity of my human condition. Oh my god.
Yeah, there must be a list. Actually, it must be like what I was thinking about writing it down sometimes, like a brain wellness protocol for me. Writing it on the fridge or something, like definitely like sauna on cold, writing music, exercise, seeing my mates and family.
Yeah, and
At
then you
least
can
like 5 of them.
identify, like, why am I feeling shit? Oh, I've not done that one or that one. And yeah, it's really, really helpful, isn't it, to have that? And I think recently I've cracked that a bit for myself. Even the radical thing for me was taking one day of my week where I could structure that entirely around what I knew I needed for wellness. And so Tuesday, I go to my dance class. I made really good friends with my teacher now. She's not my teacher anymore. She's like one of my best mates. And she's a mother of 4, and she's amazing. And her energy just, it's more than dancing. It's like, she's a woman who's come through so much, and she channels it all into this euphoric dance, and you feel your strength and your power, and you come out like blissed out and accomplished, because it's hard. And then we go straight from there. Her and I are doing the women's thing together at Coast, and then that's becoming a space. It's lots of normal women from every walk coming and sitting by the sea, and it was just a natter and a coffee, but I'm slowly kind of taking what I've learned, and we're pulling cards and we're talking about our intentions. And this week I got them to get in the sea, like at the end, and let go of what they want to let go. So do that after dance, and then I have my therapy on a Tuesday, and just that. And then I pick Leo up, and we have always like a long time between 3 and bedtime together, just us. And I'm finding just committing to that one day a week where these things,
That's great.
they're just helping me so much. And for so many years I was so locked out of that structure and routine because it felt so overwhelming. But this one day that I've invented has like changed everything for me, and it just shows it can be really small but really profound.
Definitely. And that's what I like about artists also, well, is like having that day to like, because I guess people normally are locked into this 9 to 5 thing.
Yeah.
And actually having like a whole day to yourself, like that's a great luxury to have, isn't it? It's amazing that we have to like, it's very lucky to be able to take advantage of that.
It is, and I protect that day now at all costs. Like I'm sure that if Calvin Harris wanted a session on a Tuesday, I might make an exception. But I try to really protect that day. I'm like,
He's
this is my
incredibly
day of the
handsome, that
goddess.
Calvin Harris as well.
Yeah, can you imagine? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Damn it. Like, oh, next time. But yeah, that's discipline. There we go. That's discipline. I'm finally starting at a manageable level with that, and trusting then creates trust in the universe that the thing that's meant for you will find you, because you've created yourself as a channel who can actually receive it. And I think so much of what we try and do as humans is avoid receiving. It's like, I need to be the one that makes it happen. And of course there's an element of that in creating. We do have to show up, we have to make things happen. But if all you do is that, and you don't make space to receive, which is to take the time you need, regulate yourself, be someone who's available for good things happening. If you don't do that, then you just miss it all. It's like life can't give you what it wants to give you, especially because there's like we all have little sabotaging voices and energies in us that we're not aware of, that will try to create a landscape that those of us who have like bad self-worth like me, I'll try to create a landscape where the good thing can't happen to keep backing up the reality my subconscious needs to tell itself that I'm not good enough and I'm not going to make it. And if I don't keep that voice in check, I just experience more of what I don't want. And yeah, I just have to keep coming off that hamster
That's
wheel.
so true. God, I just had a little eureka moment. You're so right about that. Like I definitely, when I try and force things, you must have this when you try and force things,
Yep.
they're way less likely to happen. And maybe that is your brain just going like, oh, you're not actually worth this.
Yeah, and you
don't
can't
actually
trust.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have this thing with my horn section recently. Like, why? I thought to myself, like, what the fuck am I pushing this so hard? And I actually realised afterwards, I was like, it's because something else is like niggling at the back of your brain. It's just going like, and it's actually a negative thing, not a positive thing.
Yeah.
And you're really trying to force it. And then as soon as I stopped, like stuff started coming in, and like gigs started, being offered, and I became less obsessive.
The
about
obsessive
this,
thing.
Like, it's got to happen.
Yes.
It's like, well, just chill out.
Yeah. And is it like, where's the root of, in that moment when you're trying to make that thing happen, I have to keep myself in check with this. Is that because something's happened recently that perhaps knocked my confidence, and I'm using this song campaign to validate, to validate and trick creation into like propping me up and making me worthy in the eyes of the same shallow lens that kind of got me into not feeling good about myself. So, it's bouncing back and forth from feeling unworthy and then propping myself up with false worthiness, and neither of those things work. And if I can say it might be a song, and this is the patriarchal conditioning of our overculture, but it's like, if I take a song and it's a beautiful creation and it has its own destiny, its own path of how it wants to come out, but if I use that song as an object to prop myself up and validate myself, I usually cock block creation, and like everything that I don't want happens. But if I can humble myself to letting that song be a medicine for me, and trust, if it's a no for a reason, which I've been having with all my music recently, so I must need a really big humbling. But it's like, if this album, if I'm knocking on all the doors in the industry and it's a constant no, and things keep happening that you couldn't write, like it's just going, sorry, our company's now re-landscaping, we have to drop this. Or I've had about 5 things like that recently where I've wanted to be so much to be validated on my path in the industry and prove who I am to everyone. And the music's just going, no, bitch, like sit down, like go work on yourself, heal, and I will come when I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I see now, like I'm objectifying myself, I'm objectifying my talent. And actually, it needs to come from a really wholesome place when I'm receiving, if I can't receive in my life and I can't receive that I'm good enough without those accolades, then they're never going to be able to come.
Maybe you need to write like a whole band album.
Yeah, that would be, I
do
did. And then I released it at the beginning of last year. I wrote it on my deathbed, and it was the 9-piece band, and like I wrote it on my deathbed just casually. I wrote it in 2017 when I was given 2018 when I was given 3 weeks to live with cancer, and I had a 21 centimeter tumor in my chest, and I got in the studio and I wrote this whole album. And again, it was so beautiful and authentic and real, but it was very much rushing, like trying to, if I'm going to die, I need to get this music out of me, and I need to push it, and I need to make myself famous before I die. It was like, there was a bit of that energy in there. Yeah. And then it took me 7 years to release it because of all that pushing. But I ended up releasing that album last year, and it was a jazz soul album.
Nice.
And it had Bluey Monique and Incognito on there. It had Amp Fiddler on there. And it was beautiful, but I ended up doing it just for myself. Like, it came out quietly. No one really heard it. So I don't want to make that same mistake again where I force my music beyond where it's ready and then actually delay it.
Yeah.
So, like, by not letting it have its own thing. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny old world, isn't it?
Yeah.
You feel like you do all these like little things, and then there's these gatekeepers that just go, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like so frustrating.
It is. It is. And there's sometimes really is no rhyme or reason. Like, you can do everything right and it doesn't land, and that's a really hard one as a spiritual person.
Can imagine
the meaninglessness sometimes of things like that is hard. You're like, is it because I didn't this and I didn't manifest it right, or I didn't take care of my nervous system, so this happened. It's like sometimes it's just fucking shit and it doesn't work out. And
or the industry shit as well. It's
not
not just
not the
your
music.
shit.
Yeah, sometimes the music shit.
Yeah. So what? Do you know much about Ray's story? I don't really know much about
Ray.
Yeah.
I know that.
I like the realness. Sorry, I like the realness of the music. I think.
Yeah.
I personally prefer the previous album to this one, just because there's some grooves on there. My kids really like it as well. There's some like particular sounds that I think resonates with like kind of kids' ears. Quite unusual, and there's that hip hoppy thing which I think my kids quite like.
Yeah.
On some of the tunes. Like, do you know much about her?
I know that Ray was signed to Polydor, and similar trajectory to a lot of us singers who enter the dance world. You start to do lots of features, and then the industry wants to box you in a certain way. And she got a deal with Polydor, and she felt very suffocated and caged. Like all of this incredible well of artistry that woman has, I mean, she's phenomenal, was being very boxed in, and she had to take this really brave step. I think it was in 2025 or 24 that she had to walk away and dare to kind of listen to this intuition of this really kind of more pushing the limits and bringing her jazz alive again, this kind of music that she wanted to make. And I think she got a really big distribution deal from an American company and got given grace to fund her own legacy with it. And I think, I know what you mean with that album. I absolutely love it. And there are tracks on there that have saved my life that I've heard, and I actually had a breakdown in my car listening to one on my cleaner, and I was like tapping on the window like,
which
you
one
okay?
was it? Do you know?
Click Clack Symphony.
Right. What's the one that made me cry? It was the bit that starts like that. What is that?
That's Escapism from her last album. But
that's the album I'm talking about.
So that one's incredible.
That made me cry.
But with the new album, you can feel like she's been so suppressed for so long that it's very out there, and it's like everything all at once. And I love it, but I can also, I love it when they are a bit more like tangible songs. That's when I most connect to them.
Have you thought a bit more? Because there's definitely something with the British industry.
Yeah.
That a lot of people just seem to get so frustrated with and end up just going elsewhere. So Ed Sheeran, that's a big thing with him. He's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, the UK industry is just pissing me off. I'm going to go live on Jamie Foxx's sofa for like 8 weeks.
Oh, yeah,
and he lived there for a bit and did loads of, massive, amazing shows in these kind of like cool clubs in America.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there is something to do with that.
Yeah,
with the UK industry, about just because you're saying an American company.
Yeah, Ray was backed by them, and I completely agree. My experience with the UK music industry is that there's such a preoccupation with being cool and not a bit like British culture, not showing your true feelings and authenticity. It's all about not giving too much away and being a bit cool and being a bit mysterious, and it's
so lame.
It's lame. And in America, they almost go completely the other way. They're like, capitalize on your like emotions and your heart and your authenticity, which is probably what I would do well in America. I should really go. But I think there's definitely less of a cap on like who you should be in your expression. It's just kind of encouraged to be your story and your humanity. I mean, commodifying it, if anything, into a very like big fanfare. Like they do that in America, and
they like a story, don't they? Like a success story.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like boosting each other as opposed to being like, no, that kind of like famine mentality we get in the UK is kind of bollocks.
Yeah, I think I'm just bashing my head up against a wall trying to get the funding or the backing or the support I need in the UK.
Just move to America.
Yeah, just move to America. Or just have some meetings with some Americans.
Yeah.
There was a couple of American distribution companies I was going to work with on my new music, but just mysteriously everything fell through, and it was always like someone in the company left. Or it's weird when you're on a path like that where something is clearly, some bigger picture's forming, because when you get so many no's at once, and even my UK tour this year got cancelled, like I've been tested to the brink of insanity.
Why did it get cancelled, do you think?
Because so many, we were going to release all this music this year that I wrote at the Beach House with King Wizard, and it's going to be my comeback year. Queen EP and like really speaking about my journey as a woman and all this. And for one reason after the other, these distribution deals or the people that we were going to release them with or label things that looked like they were going to go ahead, they all fell through, which meant doing a tour with no music didn't make sense. So that fell through. And when you miss the cycles in the music industry of this, if you miss the winter prep of getting the funding applications or getting the festival slots or whatever, then you have a whole summer of, you know, you don't really get to ride that wave. And that's kind of what I've had. I also applied for a lot of funding grants and told my whole story about how I've made so many big household records and my voice is famous, and now I'm going to make my first solo EP and really amazing solid plan, but I didn't get any of them. They all got rejected, and it just makes it's just like, what does it take? Who gets these grants?
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't get a break. But instead of using that, I mean, I've done plenty of using that as a way to make myself a victim, but instead of carry on using that story to be like, why me? And I'm a victim. And I'm just kind of humbling myself and listening, going, this is a very extreme level of no I'm getting from life. And why is that? And I think what I came to, which we touched on earlier, was that I'm rushing ahead of myself and my foundations. And actually, maybe I'm not okay. And I need to sit and work and on my own self-worth. I need to get some therapy. I need to start a community. I need to ground myself with my son a little bit more. And maybe once I've spent some time really working on that, those no's might turn into yeses, because I do believe in a higher power that's holding me and protecting me. And if I step into that launch and this big vision I have too soon, it won't be sustainable, and I'll crash and I'll burn, and that's what I've done before. And also won't be authentic. So I'm just trying to put my roots in the earth now and listen to the wisdom of the music and go, what was I singing about, and how is this relevant to the journey I'm going on trying to release it? How can I take those lessons and not make the same mistakes? So like Queen is all about, you know, I want to be me. I want to be free. I'm standing on my own feet. I'm a fucking queen. And it's like, what is that?
Track. You showed me
yeah,
that. Yeah,
you like that. I was like, what does that really mean? It's not about puffing our ego up and going, I'm a queen, bitches. Like, I don't care about anything and da-da-da. No, like, the embodiment of queen for me comes through getting real about who I really am, my insecurities, my pain, my need for human connection, and the sisters around me and the strength they give me. And when I'm really on the ground and I'm being real about looking after myself and my own heart, that's when that actual queen energy arises. And sometimes I'm trying to fake it and perform it at the cost of my inner child or my heart. And I'm just trying to learn not to do that. And that's when I get the no from the industry, when I'm doing that, in my experience.
Yeah.
It's like, not yet. It's not going to be until you're in integrity with yourself.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, isn't it? To kind of like be fully true to yourself. Also hard to do in like snapshots of things.
It is.
It's hard to do it. That's why a podcast could be really cool as well, because it's like
so.
You can talk to people for hours, and then that's actually you.
It's therapy.
Yeah.
And you learn who you are and your voice.
Yeah. And you get to know people and learn loads of stuff, right?
Yeah, you do. And in that lane, what happened, instead of me getting to release my album and having that moment of glory that I wanted, was I got asked to do the European Athletics Championship song of 2026.
No.
I went to a session and somebody, the producer, his boyfriend had an accident and he had to leave the session, and the three of us songwriters left. We're like, oh, what should we do? And one of them said, oh, I've got this European athletics song that I've been asked to write this year, but I don't want to sing it. Do you want to write something? So we wrote a song. They wanted it to be called Own Your Moment. And we wrote this song, and I was writing the lyrics, and I was like, oh my God, this song is for me, like what I need to hear. It's like I've been through a lifetime of these struggles, and, you know, I've got to have the courage to keep going. And it wasn't about own your moment. Now I've done it and I'm in the triumph. They actually said in their text that they wanted the song to be about the vulnerable moment after you've done everything you can, but all there is to let go. And it's that moment on the pitch where the athletes are like, the rest is up to fate. So I wrote the song about that, and I was like, bloody hell, this song is giving me a healing. And then it transpired they needed an artist, so I tussled with myself whether my ego didn't really want to do it, because I was like, I've got this art and I want to be this goddessy queen person and doing this music. But spirit for me was speaking. It was like I kept seeing signs everywhere. It was like, do this song, this is bigger than you, this is about what you've come through, but it's about being a voice of resilience for the athletes, for other people that might want to hear it. So I ended up doing it. I won't be performing it until August for the big European Athletics event, which is actually in Birmingham this year in the UK, which is good. So it'll be on the BBC.
Nice.
But yeah, it really humbled me, and it made me go, oh, I could do a podcast around this. I could speak into that story and that change and do some good in the world for other people that might want to hear this message. And that started to take me on a little journey. I went to Cannes Film Festival and spoke at a gala, sang it at a gala called Better World, and it's kind of reminded me of my change-making side rather than just being a voice like a faceless voice. So yeah, instead of my plan, the universe gave me a different plan, and I've put that out, and I'm ticking away now with, you know, how I develop my artist voice as more for podcasts and things like that before I pursue the music side again, before I release it again. I'm still writing a lot of songs, but yeah. So yeah, just a bit of a plot twist.
It's great though. It's cool to do something different, isn't it?
It is.
And it kind of probably makes you write differently as well. You could have some of the athletes on the podcast.
Yeah,
That
this
would
was
be cool.
I was thinking, I was speaking to their marketing team and they liked that idea. And I think, yeah, maybe I need to take the lead, because I keep going, does anyone know any podcasts I can speak on? And maybe I can speak to some athletes. And I find when you're not fully standing in, taking the lead of what you really want to do, and you try and like outsource it, and then it doesn't happen, you're like, oh, poor me. But it's like, actually, maybe it's just because I need to be the one that starts it, and I need to go, I'm doing a podcast, can I get the athlete?
Yeah.
Just really lead what I want. That's the song, Own Your Moment, it's called.
Yeah. No, it is tricky though. I think with time and finding that space for, I think also I find it like actually just setting days of which you're going to do it. That kind of helps.
Yeah.
So I try to say now, like Thursday and Friday, try and get a podcast on one of those days.
Nice.
Because it's time, like Ezra's at nursery and I have actually some time for myself.
Oh, that's
so like,
good.
right, I can do this on this day. So potentially can do one today and one tomorrow as well. Well, I'm obviously doing one today and then one tomorrow as well.
Ah, nice. Yeah, well, I'm going to take some inspiration from you. I need to ask you as well what your software and how you do it technically.
I think because you know about what sounds good, like
Yeah.
through mics and through equipment, that's half the battle.
Yeah, because you need a little preamp with these, right?
Yeah. A lot of them aren't that expensive.
Oh, you got the double. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've got the UAD one, but UAD have got one which is 4 channels,
Ah,
which
nice.
is about half the price of that
Oh,
for some
wicked.
reason, because it's like a podcasting one, and it's got compression and a bit of saturation going into them. Because you want preamps that kind of sound good, and then these ones you can kind of find them on Facebook Marketplace for a couple £100.
I've got one of these, but I can
Nice.
easily get another one. I'm feeling into whether I do it with another person. Like, there's a woman who I'm really drawn to in London. The only thing is that she's in London. Maybe it's one of those both and things, not one or the other. But yeah, she's called the Goddess Music, and we're really connected, and we've had a similar journey as women in music. And when we talk, something opens up. We can feel like it's really synergized. And yeah, I think it could be nice for me to have a bit of someone to bounce off.
Yeah,
and,
definitely. I guess you don't have to do, like you said, you don't have to do every episode together. You can kind of, even just episodes with you and her.
Yeah,
would be
exactly.
just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, I think, is finding people to come on with you who are up for it and who you think will have like a cool conversation with.
Yeah, and who's on your wavelength. And
Yeah, because
we'll
definitely
get it.
musos are a bit like, oh no, don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I find that singers or horn players, because they've got that kind of more, almost like the more front energy, front person energy. Because they're not,
Get me
not
on a
as
podcast.
yeah, they're not as scared about being like in the limelight,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
that's true.
So I've had a lot of singers, a lot of horn players.
Yeah, you can relate to them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I just need to have a wee, actually.
Yeah, go for it. We'll be
I
back
need
in a
to have
sec.
a wee.
Yeah, I need to have a wee as well too. Back in a minute, everyone.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I guess when kids have late nights, it's like, it probably sends us all a bit off what you normally do.
Yeah.
So just a bit like...
I was like, am I going to be coherent for the podcast today? But to be honest, I'm not really coherent at the best of times. Just jump on it. There'll be gold that comes out.
Yeah. And sometimes actually a little bit of tiredness makes you a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, a bit
find
more thoughtful.
Yeah. And actually having that little bit of just like not giving as much of a fuck actually sometimes helps with being a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Just letting it go and being like, okay.
Yeah.
The big thing I found is creatine. It's one thing I've been started taking recently. Apparently it's like basically if you have like enough of it, it can trick your brain into feeling like you've had 8 hours of sleep.
So is it like a pill supplement?
It's like a supplement, yeah. But it's the most studied supplement of all time.
Is that like one that's like NMN or something? Is that something else?
That's an NAD like precursor, isn't it? That's what all of like the Hollywood people take.
Yeah.
That's more to do with like every cell in your body has NAD in it. Mm-hmm. So that is like as you get older, your cells lose NAD. Mm-hmm. Or NMM. No, I think it's NMM they lose, or is it NAD they lose? But basically that helps with longevity and helps you regenerate all of your cells, every cell in your body.
Right, yeah.
Which is pretty important. But the problem is a lot of the companies that make it are just chatting shit and don't actually have any in. So you have to do a bit of research and look at the lab results, like actually third-party lab results.
Oh, right.
So there's a few companies that actually do it.
Biohacking.
Yeah, whereas a lot of it's like... Because apparently in America, it can be allegedly like a high percentage of Amazon supplements are just complete rubbish.
Oh, wow.
So they just literally just put fake labels on stuff. So you have to like really go into looking into which companies are real and which companies are not.
I'm taking the mushrooms really help me. The blends of super.
The reishis and mate, they're amazing. So good.
I stopped taking them in these like really lovely jelly form ones called Ankway because I love the Ank. I was just like, oh, that one's meant for me. Good old branding. I stopped taking them, and actually, I think I got quite depressed. Like, not because it wasn't taking them and stopping them. That I'd realised how low my state was, and they helped regulate my thoughts because it's the intrusive thoughts that they help with. And I realised when I stopped taking them, it really kicked back in.
Well, it reduces cortisol, isn't it? Like drastically.
My cortisol.
Like reishi is supposed to be like magic. Isn't they call it the immortality mushroom in Chinese medicine?
Well, that makes sense.
Because it literally affects every part of your body. Even your blood pressure, like your sleep, your cortisol, it's like magic stuff. It just tastes like absolute shit though.
Does it?
You get I get stuff from this organic stuff from China, and it tastes horrendous.
Oh, that must be good then. Yeah.
It kind of it does mean it's good, but it kind of ruins.
I just take those Chinese herbs.
Oh mate, it ruins a cup of tea. If you want like a cup of tea with it in, it's just like. Makes you feel
definitely
very
separate
sick.
that out. Keep the tea sacred.
Yeah.
But I also took magic mushrooms in very small dose for the first ever time when we had that last podcast, because we used it to open space and channel music through. But that was like micro, probably didn't do anything except the energy it does. But anyway, a few weeks ago I actually took, like about a quarter of a bar of chocolate that's like a big full dose if you take the whole bar. And I had quite a deep experience with it actually, just on that micro.
The warmth, I love the warmth feeling you get.
Yes, I had some of that, but also because I think it brings up what you're not in touch with. I realised there was a lot of discomfort. I almost felt like there was cement inside my body, like very like an inability to receive is what came up, and the mushrooms were trying to get me to be fluid and move into that current of receiving. But what I noticed the most, especially later in the trip, very subtle trip, not like it wasn't hallucinogenic or anything, was that I was so full of blocks in my body that have been holding on so tight that it wasn't allowing the flow to come as it wanted to. And that in itself was a real blessing, because it made me go, oh, what am I perpetuating in my life that's allowing this state of cortisol and locked inness to continue, and how can I melt some of that? And
I think people would consider it micro. People who actually take it would consider it micro.
5 grams is a normal. Is that a big dose? 5.
That's like a hero dose.
So Bradley's done that, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's nuts.
I've never done that much.
Yeah, he's like, you know, like
The most I've done would be like maybe 1 or 1.5.
Oh, really? Okay, so I probably did more than that. Like,
Yeah.
that's because I'm very sensitive and
Me
I
too.
shouldn't. When I took THC when I had cancer, they gave me like a child's They made these tablets that were like supposed to be a child dose that you didn't feel anything. I was fucking tripping, man.
Right.
I was like a sensation like a brushing my face on a pillow. It was like a 3-dimensional experience with colours and stuff. So I was
Right.
just like, what? I am not like everyone. I have to go like micro.
Yeah. I think it's good to start and then know what works for you though, and then kind of either do it like less or more depending on that.
Yes.
I've still got like 5 eureka thoughts that I still regularly tell myself
Oh, I love that.
that just came to me on psilocybin.
Nice.
So one of them was, it sounds like really simple, but everything is a human construct.
Yes.
And it kept like saying that to me, and I was like, and then I thought more deeply about it, and I was like, oh, that's really profound if you go more deeply into that. The fact that all the things that I'm thinking have just been created by humans. It's like not really, it's not like natural. It's like all these stuff that people are thinking about, which aren't really important for you. That's just been created by humans. So what does it really matter if you don't adhere to those things?
Yeah.
Another one was, why do you care about not being good at stuff when you haven't bothered to put the time into it? Because I would often get annoyed about little things that I wasn't good at. And I'm like, why do you care? Because you haven't cared enough to put the time into it.
Yes.
So why do you care that you're not good at it?
Yeah,
And I
that's
was
a really
like,
good point.
Oh, God, yeah. Why do I give a shit if I'm not good at bowling? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I've got really annoyed at myself for not being good at
Yeah.
stuff. It's like you don't care enough to put the time in.
Yeah.
So why do you care about all these things?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there's
I like
these little moments that occasionally just like, if I'm having like a quiet time, I'll just like think about and think. Because what someone described, I watched a video about it once. Psilocybin makes your brain feel like a full orchestra. So every part of your brain fires together. So that
Wow.
every part of the brain normally finds it harder to talk. Because you've got that bit at the top, haven't you? The corpus callosum, which men naturally have smaller. Because you know, say about women having like bigger brains or brains that connect or are more emotional. I think it's also because you naturally have a bigger corpus
I
callosum.
didn't know that.
So 2 parts of your brain talk to each other more.
Interesting.
So men have smaller one of those, whereas when you're on psilocybin, all parts of your brain find it easier to talk to each. So it's almost like a synergetic orchestra, which is talking and can actually can listen to each other and is almost playing as a unit.
That's really interesting, especially for people with ADHD and things like that, how it must positively impact. I'd be keen to learn more about microdosing for that reason, actually,
Yeah.
because that's probably...
I just think there's a stigma, isn't there, about that kind of stuff that
Yeah.
it's just still there's a stigma about it, which is
Yeah.
rubbish.
Yeah, it is. And like even when we were on this first podcast, we had this incredible magic mushroom chocolate ganache, which was very intentionally, lovingly made, and it was my first ever plant medicine dabble other than weed before. And even I remember feeling like, oh, that's going to be too much for the podcast. I probably shouldn't say that, but it was absolutely profound. We were able to press record for 4 hours. There was four of us. I only had a tiny bit. They had the rest, the other 3 guys. And the channel of music that came through from that 4 hours of just pressing record, a whole album, 12 songs was born that we had to piece together the next few days. But it's just so holy what can come through. When you, like anything, you hold it intentionally, reverently, and it can give so much insight, wisdom, and abundance. And then, of course, it can be very, very abused, and that's probably where the stigma comes from, of where those plants have been abused as drugs. And I'm only just now coming to a time in my life where I'm starting to respect plant medicine and the healing it can offer.
Yeah.
Because I've always been really scared of drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Well, I think there's such a different spectrum, isn't there, of drugs that can get. And the thing is, I don't think you can overdose on mushrooms. So I think that obviously it'll have like a ridiculous effect on your psyche, but I don't think you can actually overdose because it's
Right.
natural.
Yeah.
Whereas things like obviously cocaine and all that, the different like even Mandy and stuff like that, you can definitely overdose on that because it's synthetic.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas like with mushrooms, I don't really think you can. I think obviously you'll go to like a different space, a different world, but in terms of like physicality, it doesn't really give you like a hangover as such.
Right, that makes sense. And I know that a lot of people who have had substance abuse issues have used things like mushrooms to help them repair substance abuse, because you can't escape the teachings they give you, and they very much humble you back into like what's real and what's meaningful. And I think my son's dad is very open about that, using those kind of methods to break addiction patterns, actually. And I think we could do with a lot more compassion and understanding with that in our society, because if you deny the way to heal and you only celebrate methods that just cut you off completely from any substance, or that you almost create a stigma and a dogma where it gets buried in the shadow. And I think there's an important way to like get more inside the nuance of why that addiction has to happen and what can help us still access those subconscious spaces, but in a safe way, so that we can actually heal the root, not just cut off that part of us. And
very true. Yeah, because then you'll find your addictions probably will just transfer from one thing to the next.
Yes,
so
that tends to happen.
You just become obsessed with something else.
Yes.
But I guess a lot of it is political, right? They probably just tarnished a lot of drugs within the same brackets when it's like they couldn't be more different. Like, I don't imagine cocaine ever really helping you.
No.
Like, it definitely doesn't help you, and people become very obsessed with it for the wrong reasons.
It's like a self-obsessed drug, isn't it? It's like it makes an echo chamber of you at the centre of the universe.
Yeah, but often people take it because they're deeply pained.
Yeah,
underneath. It's just a way of escaping and actually making you feel like the person you want to be.
Yeah.
When in fact it doesn't. It just makes you a bit more of a dickhead.
Yeah, true.
And weirdly insular, not actually outgoing.
Yes.
You become more obsessed with like small things and taking more, as opposed to, the connection between you and someone else.
Definitely.
Like if you walk into a room of people doing that's talking about themselves or talking about something that's not really important, they're not really connecting.
No.
It's almost like they're just like being beacons of themselves loudly.
Yeah, that's a very good way to describe it.
You're like, just come on, this is not a room of connection. This is a room of disparate people.
Yeah, and as someone who was the partner of someone with cocaine addiction for many years, like, God, that has such a profound impact on my sense of reality and neurology, because you have to put so much energy into looking after that person and their dips, because they escape reality, and then there comes a crash, and then there comes another reach for to get out of the impact of that crash. And
crashes can be horrendous as well.
Yeah, it's the shame and guilt that comes from cocaine as a counterpart of the original high is very, very dense. And yeah, it's been heartbreaking, having to care for someone. I've never done coke.
So you're not doing it anymore.
Sorry, no, he is very much on his journey with recovery. He went through CA and did all of those routes. Found them to be problematic too, because the parts of him, like we were saying, that he chopped off through that were still very in the shadow. He'd be really good on the podcast, actually, because he's so good at talking about this. But yeah, now he's like, he gets really inside of what was this plant trying to teach him, because it does come from a plant, but it's just very bastardized and synthetically made. And it's like, what's the original medicine that was there before it got really distorted, and how can he access that, not through cocaine, through creativity or genuine connection, and not just have to demonize and not talk about I'm an addict and that's it. As long as I stay on this straight and narrow, it's like, how can he cultivate other ways to get inside of what that I don't know, that thing that drew him to it in the first place? Because in a way it saved his life at points. Horrible things happened to him, and then cocaine helped him with that when he was younger. So I have a very, very nuanced, compassionate approach around addiction, because I've seen it from every angle. But it needs a lot of protection. And
and I definitely have had like the lowest points in my life for addiction. And I felt like actually, if I hadn't had that, me and Rashawn were talking about this the other day, if I hadn't had those incredibly low, horrendous points, I wouldn't have sought help. It probably would have
yes.
just gone on for years and years.
Yeah.
And those moments where you think like, oh, everything's going to end, or everything, you know, I could potentially lose my wife and kids because of this.
Yeah.
And then you go like, oh, fuck. I actually need help.
Did she have to hold you accountable at points?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I found that really hard. Like,
she didn't hold back.
yeah, good, like strong women as needed, because the thing is with Coke, it's the master of deception as well, you know, like, and especially with with my situation, he would seem very convincing that it was either not happening or it was helping him and he needed it, or
very good at hiding it.
Really, really.
Yeah.
And then
Sneaky.
because I was in so much PTSD from my own journey in cancer, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, maybe I do need to just stop like worrying or get out of the way. And it's amazing how it can warp even the other person's brain chemistry. Like, it's a disease that spreads out and normalizes abuse and makes things seem okay that are not. And actually me recovering from that has been like crazy. I'm still learning actually how to hold a no. I know this is not okay. Here's the impact. If you're going to do that, this will be the impact. And learning where to do that and where to have compassion. And that's been a really hard journey for me as a woman. I think like standing in that no or that power, and it spreads out to the industry I'm in. And, you know, like, how do I hold the line, but also not demonize? And because, yeah, addiction as well as a disease, and I tend to be way more on the compassionate side and seeing it from the higher perspective than I do from the no, if you do this, I'm leaving, or da-da-da.
Yeah. So my wife was compassionate. She just didn't take any shit with it.
No, it sounds like she had a great approach.
She was like, you need to get help. That's basically what we said. And I was like, okay. And that pushed me to get therapy for a year and a half or a year. And that was like the best thing I ever did.
Oh, wow.
Because then you get to the, like you're talking about before, you get to the roots of, and for me, it was like my inner child was screaming that it was never listened to, and that it had like immense amount of pain about like lots of memories and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem was.
Yeah.
So as soon as I like addressed that, started writing stuff down, started jotting like what I actually thought, stopped running away from, you know, I think that's what it was for me. It was numbing. Well, there was a few things. It was numbing. A lot of the people I did around me were doing it.
Yep.
And they were kind of like successful in their lives and seemed all right. When actually looking back at it, they were incredibly pained as well. And like, yeah, actually getting to the root of it, writing down what I thought and talking to my inner child.
Yes.
And like seeing it. And it was weird. When I started, it was like the vision of me as a child was see-through. And it was like with loads of like LED lights around it, but you could see directly through the kid. So I'd talk to him and he wouldn't really be there. It was just like a translucent shape, but looked a bit like me. And then as things developed, it got more and more solid. And then it became just little Max. And then he became older, and then I could actually see him as a kid.
As you, and you bridged that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he would just like, he was almost like he got taller and taller and taller. And then he became more opaque and then became human.
Through therapy.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Which was like, and now I talk, you know, if something happens or I kind of feel like this weird feeling inside, I'll often talk and imagine. It's always in my garden at home as well. Like I was brought up on a farm. And it's like in the front garden in front of the house. Yeah. And that's where I pictured it.
Oh, that's so fascinating. The psyche's so powerful.
It's mad. And I would also go into my therapist told me to go in and see the inner child with my parents and with people around and just like take him under my wing, and then we go outside or we talk and just like see the scene.
Beautiful.
Yeah, of childhood.
I've done that, with like you bring them all around a campfire, the inner child and the parents. And funnily enough, when I had cancer, I tried a million things, both alkaline thing, obviously all the chemo, all the medical. Then I was like alkaline diets, energy healing, diet, like anything you could think, supplements. And it wasn't until I hit on the inner child work and I actually trained as a self-love coach, which is where I met Bradley, my son's dad, that's when the real work begun. And I literally saw, we talked about this on the last podcast, but the inner chemistry of my DNA shifting landscape, almost like it had created, like cancer is just matter that's creating more cells because it's life force that wants to be expressed, but it's being punished or denied into a certain part of the body. This is just my understanding. I do not claim to to like be the voice on it, but it's my own personal understanding that cancer is just matter creating itself where it shouldn't. So I got inside of that. The more I started to unpick what is in this mass, in this density that wants my love and attention, and it was so much self-hatred and all of those childhood memories that had forged this very warped understanding of my worth. And getting inside of that, around the time I did that work, I would find myself like almost like retching and vomiting out memories, but nothing was coming out, just almost like foam and memories. And then doing that for 4 months very intensely, along with a lot of other things that happened, and people that came into my life to support and hold, that is when the actual mass started to show shrinkage. I'd finished treatment. And so I just think, for me, that the power of how our mind and biology connects like that, and we can reverse things, we can create things. It's wild. Like, I'm actually speaking out loud now. I'm like, I need to remember that self-love training that I did, because I forget to use it.
It's hard to. It's just a constant process, isn't it?
It is constant, and then you'll hit on a layer that for the first time at 36, you'll hit on another layer, and then that takes you down a path of running away until you recognise the pattern again. You go, oh crap, back to the drawing board of.
But a lot of people just amble through life and never think about these things.
I know,
as well,
isn't
and just
that
think
wild?
like, oh, it's just the way I am.
I think that must be so nice. I think like when I
don't think it just sounds nice.
It's not nice really, but I'd love to be back in like pre-cancer when I was very ignorant to this stuff. But my experience of when I had cancer and I was given 3 weeks to live, and I might not make it long enough to do my album and all that, and I'd never have children, and my experience of the deal I had to make with my body, the radical intuition within that told me there was another way, and what I call the goddess and like life itself. It's almost the bargain I had to make to stay alive, to go down that path and awaken those parts of me. The cost of it has been that I can never go back. I can never go back to sleep about this path of that inner turmoil I have. I always have to keep it in check, and I have to keep speaking about it through my art and bring it further out into the world, because the moment I cut that off, I start to get out of integrity with myself. I reverse back into the patterns that I believe contributed to me having cancer. And it's like I had to give my life to something greater to save my own life. Not just me, but the bigger power that also helped me save my own life. And I have to stay with that message now. But sometimes I just think, oh, it'd be so nice to just have a life where I was just oblivious to all this. It feels alienating.
But do you think obliviousness was part of the problem in the first place? Do you think that impacted it?
Yeah, I guess some people can be oblivious and it not impact their lives very much. But for me personally, it's always just been my calling that I couldn't stay in that state. Cancer happened.
Do you feel like your diet changed?
My diet has always been a weird one. I changed it radically when I was trying to heal and did all the things everyone said you should. And that didn't work for me. It made me more unwell because in the end, I tried everything through fear to heal cancer. That didn't work. And then when I started loving myself and eating what I felt like I wanted and things that gave me comfort and indulgence, that actually was the thing that helped me heal. But then my brain was like, so indulgent food makes me well, and I went like too far down that path. So for me, it's been a lifelong thing of realizing actually I'm cyclical as a woman. I have to actually listen to my body and what I want in this week on my luteal phase, and then when I'm ovulation, maybe I want something different. But I think with diet, like there's a lot of self-sabotage and addiction that comes through food, obviously. If I try a diet or a crash diet of any kind, I always flip back to unhealthy eating. So now I'm just trying to figure out what's the sustainable thing that helps my brain chemistry. But when I tried something close to keto, it was like just meat and veg and simple food and 3 times a day and very rhythmic. That's the closest thing I've ever felt to like really well, and my nervous system was loving it. But it's always hard, isn't it, to find the consistency with that.
I definitely use food as a comfort thing. I find like definitely. I think I'm trying to get better at this because I'm becoming more aware of it. But if I have anxiety on a gig or some form of like, I can feel my body like humming because I'm not in control of a situation or something I'm finding hard, I definitely eat way more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's the thing I could massively, because they say that thing about eating disorders, isn't it? That's the biggest thing you can control.
Yes.
Like in your like day to day, that's the thing that you have the control over. You can be like, right, I'm just going to pick that up and just going to put it in my mouth, going to eat it.
Yeah.
So I've had to like check myself sometimes and be like, you are eating now because you're trying to comfort yourself.
Yeah.
Or it's trying to relax you.
That's it.
Like just take a minute, maybe leave the room, chill for a bit.
Yeah.
Then come back.
And juice fasting and things like that really help you see those patterns, because I do a lot of that, and like day 3 of the juice fast or whatever, you're realising how addicted you are to when am I next going to eat, and
how like hunger is almost like, it happens for a minute and then it sometimes just goes.
Yeah.
Like it's your brain just going.
The
like,
brain are so linked, aren't they? It's amazing.
I also used to think that like when I didn't eat, my brain wouldn't work as well.
Yes.
And I realised that just even thinking those thoughts probably meant my brain wasn't working as well.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh. But then actually it was the opposite.
Yeah. And again, it comes back to the cyclical thing, because I used to think that, and then sometimes it is true. I've just a small change, like having a morning smoothie with banana, avocado, collagen, cacao, things that I know set my brain up, but they're not going to fill me up too much. Just doing that before my workouts, like I've realised as an ADHD person how much that will set me up for the day, because if I miss that smoothie, like God, like I'm all over the place. And just little things, isn't it? Like implementing little changes and listening to the rhythm of your body.
Yeah.
So that's a lifelong journey as well.
Yeah, 100%. Also coffee as well. Like if you have coffee on an empty stomach, used to find that sometimes it was like, it hits you a lot harder.
I can't even have coffee, yeah.
You can't have it?
No. I love cacao. Cacao's like, is a heart-opening medicine, of course, and just, that's an incredible way to replace caffeine for me.
Isn't that the base of coffee and cocaine, right?
Cacao does coffee come from cacao?
Yeah,
I feel like I should know that.
It's that little green leaf that's originally, right?
Is it cocoa? Is cocoa and cacao different? Because I think cacao comes from the cocoa pods. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure cacao is what coffee comes from. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
And cocaine.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. People chew it in South America,
crazy.
don't they?
It makes sense, the
Yeah. I might be horrendously wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
The chocolate part of it is what cacao comes from, like the white waxy pods that makes chocolate. So it's just an incredibly heart-opening medicine, and I sit with it and drop in, and it's it really keeps me in touch with my emotions, so that when I do take action and my brain is coming from informed by my emotional landscape, not just denying her and
do you have the mushroom
bypassing.
Did you do the gummies then, mushroom gummies? Were they good?
Yeah, I've got really nice ones from Ankway. They're very natural, really lovely raspberry flavour.
The taste of the, can't deal with the taste of the reishi. It's like,
oh no, it tastes like
much.
Ass.
It does taste like ass, mushroom ass.
Yeah, it's like not the one.
Might have to wrap this up because I've got to.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just aware as well. I was like, I don't even know what the time is.
I think it's about midday. I've got to sell my terrible old car today.
Have you? Nice.
Which is not terrible. It's not terrible, because in case the person listens to this, it's not terrible. It's a great car.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of miles.
They watch your podcast later. That guy
terrible old car tricked me. It's not. It's a great car. It's just done a lot of miles.
Yeah. Fair enough. You can have a little bit of car rebirth. I like that.
That's it. But yeah, he's coming all the way from Peterborough.
Ah, nice.
Which is a mish.
So you can do that today, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to sell it on, which feels a bit weird. It feels like, because I've been there a lot of places with my kids in that car.
Oh,
and even my boy
was
like, I've got to say bye, I've got to give it a kiss.
Yeah,
it's
they really
sweet.
do hold memories, cars. I've got my own first ever car that's like, I bought her. But yeah, she was a demo car, so it was like 10 grand off and on finance, very grown up. And I got a number plate, personalised number plate. It was not very expensive at all, but Almayer is like the medicine name I guess I'm stepping into as an artist, which is a whole other story as to why that is. But it feels so good to just drive this new car with my number plate, and I'm like, I've got something tangible out of this wild journey.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, yeah.
It's the car that music built.
Yeah,
It's
there
quite
we
cool.
go. It is the car that music built. And funnily enough, having that sound system for the first time where I can listen to my own songs.
It's the best analyzer.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Yeah,
if you
it's
write a
so
tune
good.
and it sounds shit in the car, you're like, I've got to go back to the drawing board with that.
Yeah.
Something sounds a bit muddy or a bit wrong. Or
That's it, because I bought it around the time we wrote that Miracles album and the Queen EP, and I just rinsed it like, in this car, and I was like, God, yeah.
something about looking around and seeing, not being just in a room.
Yeah. So you're like actively listening more. It's almost like a theta state or something. I don't know, but it's a good one. Like,
Yeah, my mate said, well, if he could build a studio in his car.
we
he
actually
would.
did kind of
I
that.
saw that,
We
the
did
video.
drive-by lives.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So we drove around London performing our songs in the back of a Land Rover. More of that, definitely. I need to
that's
get
wicked.
a top-down version. That's what I want.
I used to do drive-by sax. I used to do that just for fun.
Drive-by sax.
Yeah,
There
so
we
you'd
go.
be like, just go past
You'd
someone
be
and go,
perfect on our...
dee-dee, dee-dee, and then just seeing people's reaction is really funny.
I love
Just
that.
on the street, just through out the car window. They'd be like, hey.
Maybe you need to combine your podcast with your drive-by sax, like a
Yeah.
carpool karaoke podcast.
Yeah.
There
We should
we
film
go.
that, actually, because it would actually be quite funny, people's reactions.
We'd do that with you. I'm sure me and King Wizard can, in
Yeah,
our
100%.
drive-by lives, get you along. That's what it should be.
Because if
It
you're going
should-
past someone slowly and you just play like a little sax tune, people are like,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, exactly. I love
Just a bit
that.
of like,
Narrate their walk.
yeah. Dee-dee-dee-dee.
I love that.
Dee-dee-dee-dee.
Oh man, it's that drive-by sax guy again. What's he doing?
I don't think, actually, maybe we should not talk about this on the podcast because I don't think I've seen anyone do that yet. Maybe
No,
that'll be my
keep it
new
under
TikTok
wraps.
thing, yeah.
There we go.
Cut this bit out. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having
We're
me,
excited to
Max.
see your podcast as well.
I know.
when it
We'll
comes
see
out.
what comes of it. It was born here, remember?
It was, 100%. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.